Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot and a red state, utilizing tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times that we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is actually going to be the Tarot Rewind that I'm going to be going through. And this is going to be for that last week, the week of, what is that, the 28th. So when I do energy readings, they're blind readings. I really don't know what the event is or the circumstances which I'm reading on. And I always say, but the energy will be there. That feeling will be there. Like whatever it is I say, it will fall within the context of, like what I'm saying. So this month, honestly, I thought I did this at the very beginning of the month when that horrendous bill just passed. And so if you will take out the word, like horrendous bill and put in Epstein files, this is pretty spot on for this month. And so this is going to be the second, I'm going to do the update on the part 2 of that energy reading, which focused on the last week, and then the not No Kings, the Good Trouble, which I'm not going to address that here. Those protests were just fine. Can't hear it. Okay, so for the last week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that, and then I am going to do a quick reading just to see if this is what I think it is. And then I'm going to link that short section of that energy reading at the very end of this so that you can go back and so it'll be here real easy for you to watch. And at the very end, I'll link both of those energy readings. Okay. So for entertainment purposes only, now that we kind of have context of the Epstein files, I wanted to go through this last week, and the very first thing that came up was the Queen of Wands. And I was like, is this Pam Bondi? And it was like, if anything, it's shedding a light into the truth and speaking the truth, okay? Or, as you know, I get this as my Pam Bondi card because she's just a little cheerleader out there for Trump. Go Trump, the propaganda. And then what came up after that was the death card, transformation. And I did watch it, and it was like, is this the end of somebody's career, is what I mentioned at some point. And I have not, and I actually am going to, the question I'm going to ask is this Pam Bondi losing her job? Because that's kind of what this is looking like. And I have not got that. The last time I checked in on Pam Bondi being the one to exit, she wasn't going anywhere because she is Trump's guy. She is, she's protecting him. And if Trump gets rid of her, who's going to, it's like, how many people would he go through before MAGA realizes it's not the AG doing this, it's Trump that's doing this. So anyway, but she would be the first on the chopping block. She would be the first, attorney general that would be gone. And that MAGA would probably, because right now MAGA's kind of blaming her, and it's like, it's not her, dude. It's dear leader there. And then things that were hidden, things like beneath the surface, is I always say, but wait, there's more. That's kind of this card. Something really murky. Trump, I always get him as, delusional Don there, Don Old is the foundation of this. Okay, so it's all around Trump. In the past, the irrational action that was taken, things that this is the Knight of Swords. It's irrational action. This is just like racing off into battle without a plan, okay? Not thinking about your consequences. And so if you look at the behavior that him and Epstein had in the past, not thinking there would ever be consequences, that would definitely fit into this. And that there's more, this is just what we've learned is just the tip of the iceberg. And then I got the High Priestess, and in that I was like, okay, the High Priestess is another vague card. It's like the truth is out there, but it's hidden. It hasn't come to light yet. So when these come up as my outcome cards, it's like, I don't want vague. I want the details. And so when I asked about the deets on that, the details, I got Ace of Wands, big messages, big bully club. This can also mean sex. Just putting that out there. That's what that can mean with drunk on power. And so if you look at what those men did, that absolutely fits right in line with this. And the Justice card. finally coming to justice over this. Okay, entertainment purposes only, all of this. And so I was like, oh my. So it, like, if knowing what we know now, is that it looks like Pam Bondi could be losing her job, and but and it's over, Don. It's over what he did in the past, trying to keep things hidden from the future, but they're not going to be able to keep that hidden. And it's like this messaging, this comes out in a big way, just about the abuse that absolutely falls under this, the abuse of power, the abuse of these young women, these children, and finally, justice being served. So I'm just going to ask here, is this, let me see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, I'm going to pick all these up. I'm going to keep this one out. Just, is this Pam Bondi? Is she going to be losing her job? As I said, back whenever I did that reading, was it like last week, a couple weeks ago? I got that she was going to stay put. Because it's not really going to help Trump for her to be fired, because they're going to keep, the MAGA's going to keep wanting that the Epstein files released. So is she going to be leaving? Is she going to lose her job? Is she going to resign? Whatever that is she going to be leaving? And with that, the agreements that were made, and then like the happiness, the challenge is the happiness, that she's not really seeing the benefit. It's stressful for her. The challenge, and stress can absolutely be underneath that, under that 10. Cups is anything that has to do with emotions. So stress and like finishing this up, like she's done, is like the feeling with that. She makes a decision. The seeds that were planted for the, it's like whatever she did in the past, she's now making this a new decision. This, she kept the truth hidden. I mean, this should be like the horn of truth is sounded, but she kept it hidden. And now the decision is, and I think this is, I wonder if this isn't going to be Ghislaine Maxwell releasing more information that's going to cause her demise, not demise as in, but the Pam Bondi leaving. This isn't saying that she's leaving, that Pam Bondi is leaving. It's like because of something that someone else is, like the decisions of somebody else is kind of what I'm feeling with that. Oh, I know what I was, let me ask. Is this Pam Bondi? I know I started to ask that, then I started shuffling, and then I lost my train of thought there. So let me ask again. Is it going to be Pam Bondi leaving? Keeping things hidden for Don Old there, and messages coming out. This is, I kind of am seeing this like as J.D. Vance, and oh, I even noticed like there's your beard there. If this is J.D. Vance, releasing this because he wants to be president and he knows he's got to get rid of Don in order to make that happen. Here, hold on just a second. Let me see. Because I was asking if Pam Bondi was going to be leaving. And it's like all of this under the direction of Trump for J.D. Vance to be installed. But if we go with that original reading of, her leaving, okay, as I've said in the last several readings, I'm feeling like so much of this stuff is layered. Like there's so much. So what I'm feeling like with Pam Bondi is like she will be leaving when more of the truth comes out, like when more of it's released. And it's almost like she's the first to go and then Trump goes. It's almost like I see it like back to back, like just because like she can no longer protect him. Like that's why she's there, is to protect him. And when she can that's it. When she can no longer protect him, she's going to be leaving. Trump is like moved out. Once again, if JD Vance is in there, I have, animals are crazy tonight. They're all wound up. And so it's that like she's no longer needed. And so JD Vance, if he's installed, he's going to get like his own attorney general. Like that's that feeling. I'm not doing the JD Vance as president reading yet. I consistently have said if he is, it's like one hot minute and that's it. Other readers have got that he's not going to be president. So, I'm waiting to do that reading until like there's actual movement, like there's something, to kind of read on that. Right now, I think I would just get like, that's the desire, rather than like what's actually happening. So that's why I'm kind of putting that off. So yeah, with Pam Bondi, she's there to protect him. When she can no longer protect him, that's when she's going to be leaving. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that, just that section of that reading at the end of this. Like I'm going to stitch it together. So I will be leaving, but you stay put and keep watching that second part of this, which is going to be that the July reading for that week. I'm also at the very end, I will link parts 1 and 2 for the July energy reading so you can see them in their entirety. And wait, I also have that update. I'll figure it out. There will be something there for you to watch if you want to watch an additional reading, especially if this is your first reading. Watch some of my other readings, especially the ones, in this past week or two. Kind of see, kind of what this channel's about. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, things are starting to pick up. So yeah, this is going to be kind of it's exciting in that I'm seeing, kind of like what I've been getting in the cards starting to happen. It's exciting knowing that if we can finally put all of this behind us and we can like get back on the right track, and people aren't going to lose their health insurance, and people aren't going to lose the Medicaid and the Medicare, and all, like, we got to get all of it fixed. Okay, that's what I'm excited about. That's like that feeling of where we're going, and knowing, okay, we got to go through this to get to this other part. And it's that other part that I'm excited about. Okay. So, I just want to clarify that I'm never excited about like the horrendous things going on. I'm excited about the horrendous things coming to an end. So thank you very much for joining me. Stay tuned. Check out that other, as I said, I'm going to stitch that in there. And at the end, I'll have other readings for you to watch. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will catch you on the next reading. Okay. And that week, this is going to be shining the truth, or shining a light into the truth. Queen of Wands is also, I always see the Queen of Wands. If this is a person, in the higher energy, this is someone who's a great leader. This is someone who speaks the truth. In previous readings, if I read this as Pam Bondi, she's out there as a cheerleader for Trump. Okay. And that would definitely be the lower energy of that card. Okay. And the challenge is going to be something coming to an end. Okay. And I just said, if I read this as Pam Bondi, this coming to an end. And I know she's been in she's catching some heat lately about some, things that have happened in prior to her being the attorney general there. There was like money she didn't claim from Qatar. Is that what it was? I'm trying to remember, but whatever it is, she's been under fire lately. I wonder if she's going to be gone out of the from attorney general. Is she going to be the first to leave her Celebrity Apprentice there? Things up in the air. The options are, what are we going to do? Okay. Whenever you have the moon card, there are certain cards that if they come up in the options card, options position, it's like, well, that's kind of why I'm doing tarot. What are our options? Well, the options are, it's really vague. So like this card, the High Priestess, and like the Seven of Cups, those would all be examples of just like watery, vague cards. And it's like, I want the details. But something like beneath the surface, something that was like hidden. And I'm wondering if something like even worse comes to light, and as I said, I have read this in the past about Pam Bondi. So it could be or is it those emails of Susan Wiles that comes out from Iran? That could be it too. Mad King Don, whatever it is, it's concerning, the Don there, and Don Old, and irrational action that he has taken. Well, that doesn't really narrow it down, does it? What irrational action could he have taken? And then you get, did I not just say that whenever you get, there are certain cards that kind of, whenever they come up in, the options position, the Moon card, the High Priestess, the Seven of Cups, and for my outcome, what did I get? The High Priestess. Okay, Tarot does have a sense of humor. So what this is telling me, if I just kind of look back at this, somebody in a position of power, things coming to an end. This is somebody either putting something to an end or their career is coming to an end based on the irrational actions taken in the past by, Don Old there. And things are like really murky. Things are, like they're changing, they're murky. The answers are there. I think that there's more to come. That's what I'm saying. Like whatever is coming out, whatever messaging this is, it's not the whole picture. There's more to it. So whatever, they're saying, trying to put a stop to something, just know that there's more. And it's like that with everything they do. It's like, could it just be one thing? No, they're stupid criminals. Okay. They criminal poorly. Okay. So, and they know that they can, do something how many times, before it gets to the Supreme Court. And then even then they skirt the Supreme Court. So what is this? I just want more clarification on the very vague cards that I got here for the outcome. Okay. So what is this? Big messaging, big ideas, big, the bully club there, that big wand, happiness, and justice. If this is, the feeling I'm getting from this is something in the legal, something that we don't know right now is coming out. And I don't even know when, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to make this be something other than election interference. I'm trying to make this be something other than election interference, okay? Because I don't want every reading to be about that, because, I don't know what to say. So with this, the energy that I'm feeling is like there's a big truth getting ready to land, okay? A big truth based on, careless action of Don Old. That does not narrow it down. And then I get this outcome of these two cards. These are not outcome cards. These are, so what I'm saying is probably whatever that initial news is, it is going to be whatever the initial news is, but wait, there's more. There's more to be seen, okay? Whatever it is that we've been told, that doesn't even, that just skims the surface. There's more that will be released. I wonder if Iran isn't going to be releasing stuff. This also could be, Iran has the truth. They've got these emails and, they shine a light and they release it. I am going to be doing a reading on Iran and also on Anonymous. Where the hell are they? So I don't want to get too much into, this, just because I know I'm doing that reading, probably recording it right after I get done recording this one. And it's big messages, big ideas, something big. And it's just this, as I said, I'm feeling skimming the surface, people rejoicing, and the Justice card. People coming to justice over, justice is served. Now, the other thing, if I'm going to read this in the lower energy, propaganda, drunk on power, and utilizing, the law to get what they want. Okay. I don't, even as I read it like that, I'm I don't think that's it. I think that I'm really getting the feeling somebody has released some information on Trump. That's what I'm feeling, whether it's Iran, whether it's Musk, whether it's anonymous. Because this is a queen, my bet is going to be Iran. Okay, that's what I'm kind of, and or it's just like Susan Wiles, her emails are released. It could be that as well. So that is that, what did I say, week 4 of that. Okay.